The feathered songster Chanticleer hand wound his bugle horn, and told of the early villager the coming of the morn. King Edward saw the ruddy streaks of lit eclipse the gree, and heard the ravens croaking throat proclaim the fated Dethe Of Syr, quod he, for, by the God that sits in front on higher, Charles Badwin, and his fellows twain, today shall surely die. Then why the jug of nappy ale his teeth on him wait, go tell the traitor, that to die he leaves this mortal state. Syr can't lone then bended low, with heart brimful of woe, he journeyed to the castle gate, and to Sir Charles did go. But when he came, his children twain, and eke his loving wife, with briny tears did wet the floor, for good Sir Charles's life. Oh good Sir Charles, said can't alone, bad tidings I do bring. Speak boldly, man, said brave Sir Charles, what says the traitor king? I grieve to tell, before yon son does from the welkin fly, he hath upon his honour sworn, that thou shalt surely die. We all must die, quod brave Sir Charles, of that I'm not afeard, what boaties to live a little space. Thank Jesu, I'm prepper apostrophe d. But tell thy king, for mine he's not, I'd sooner die to die than live as slave, as many are, to I shoulder life free. Then can't alone he did go out, to tell them you're straight to get all things in readiness for good Sir Charles's fate. Then Master Cange sought the king, and fell down on his knee, I'm come, quod he, unto your grace to move your clemency. Then quod the king, your tale speak out, you have been much your friend, whatever your request may be, we will to it. On. My noble liege, alla my request is for a noble knight, who, to mayhap he has done wrong, he thought it still was he has a spouse and children twain, Allery and Affery, that you are resolved to let Charles Badwin die today. Speak not of such a traitor vile, the king in very said, before the evening star doth sheen, Badwin shall lose his head. Justice does loudly for him colour, and he shall have his meed speak, Master Cange. What then jealousy present do you need? My noble liege, good Cange said, leave justice to our God, and lay the iron rule aside, be thine the olive rod. Was God to sash our hearts and reins, the best was sinners greater, Christ's vicar only knows ne sin, in Allah this mortal state. Let mercy rule thine infante reign, 'twill fast thy crown full sure, from race to race thy familial sovereigns shall endure. But with blood and slaughter thou begin thy infante reign, thy crown upon thy children brows will never long remain. Cange, away, this traitor vile has scorned my power and me, how canst thou then for such a man entreat my clemency? My noble liege, the truly brave will valorous actions prize, respect a brave and noble mind, although an enemy's. Cange, away. By God in heaven that doth me being jive, I will not taste a bit of bread whilst this Sir Charles doth live. My Marie, and Allah sancts in heaven, this sinner shall be his last. Then Cange dropped a briny tear, and from the presence paced, with heart brimful of gnawing grief, he to Sir Charles did go, and sat him down upon his stool, and tears began to flow. We all must die, quod brave Sir Charles, what boaties it how or when, doth ease the shore, the certain fate of all we mortal men. Say why, my friend, the honest soul runs over at thine eye, is it for my most welcome doom that thou dost childlike cry? Quod godly Cange, I do weep, that thou so soon must die, and leave thy sons and helpless wife. Why is this that wets mine eye? Then read the tears that out thine eye from godly fountains spring, doth I despise, and Allah the power of Edward, traitor king. When through the tyrant's welcome means he shall resign my life, the God I serve will soon provide for both me sons and wife. Before I saw the litsome sinner, this was appointed me, shall mortal man repine or grudge what God ordains to be? How oft in battle have I stood, when thousands died around, when smoking streams of crimson blood imbrued the fattened ground. How did I know that every dart that cut the airy way, might not find passage to my heart, and close mine eyes free? And shall I now, for fear of death, look one and be dismayed? No. From my heart fly childish fear, be Allah the man displayed. Ah, God-like Henry, God forfend, and guard thee and thy son, 'tis his will, but 'tis not, why then his will be done. My honest friend, My fault has been to serve God and me a prince, and that I no time server am. My death will soon convince. In London city was I born, of parents of great note. My father Dethe noble arms emblazon on his coat. I make need doubt but he is gone where soon I hope to go, where we forever shall be blessed. From out the wreck of woe he taught me justice and the law sweet but he to unite, and eke he taught me how to knoweth wrong cause from thee. He taught me why the prudent hand to feed the hungry poor, ne let me a servants drive away the hungry from my door. And none can say, but Allah me a life I have his word I's kept, and summed the actions of the Diashnit before I slept. I have a spouse, go ask of her, if I defiled her better? I have a king, and none can lay a black treason on my head. In Lent, and on the holy eve, from flesh I did refrain, we should I then appear dismayed to leave this world of pain? Ne. Hapless Henry, I rejoice, I shall ne see thy death, most willingly in thy just cause do I resign my breath. Oh, fickle people! Ruined loned! Thou wild can peace ne mow, while Richard's sons exalt themes lies, thy brooks wide blood will flow. Say, were ye dead of godly peace, and godly Henry's reign, that you death chop easy dice for those of blood and pain? What to I on a sled be drawn, and mangled by a hind, I do defy the traitor's power, he can ne harm my mind. What to, up hoisted on a pole, mere limbs shall rot in air, and ne monument of brassy Charles Borden's name shall bear, yet in the holy book above, which time can't eat away, there wide the servants of the Lord my name shall lie free. Then welcome death. For life eternal I leave this mortal life farewell, vine worlder, and all that's dear, mere sons and loving wife. Now death as welcome to me comes, as ere the month of May, nor would I even wish to live, with my dear wife to stay quod canj, wise a goodly thing to be prepared to die, and from this world of pain and grief to God in heaven to fly. And now the bell began to toller, and clarins to sound. Sir Charles he heard the horse's feet a-prouncing on the ground, and just before the officers, his loving wife came in, weeping unfeigned tears of woe, wide loud and dismal din. Sweet Florence, now I pray forbear in quiet let me die, pray God, that every Christian soul may loken on death as I. Sweet Florence, why these briny tears? Thy wash my soul away, and almost make me wish for life, with thee, sweet dame, to stay. Twas but a journey I shall go unto the land of bliss. Now, as a proof of husband's love, receive this holy cozy. Then Florence, faltering in her say, trembling these words I spoke, ah, cruel Edward, bloody king, my heart is well a nigger broke. Ah, sweet Sir Charles, why wilt thou go, without thy loving wife? The cruel axe that cuts thy neck, it eke shall end me a life. And now the officers came in to bring Sir Charles away, who turned to his loving wife, and thus to her did say, go to life, and not to death, trust thou in God above, and teach thy sons to fear the Lord, and in their hearts him love. Teach them to run the noble race. I dare fade a run, Florence. Should death thee take, adieu. Ye officers, lead on. Then Florence raved as any madder, and death her tresses terror, oh, stay, me a husband, lord, and life. Sir Charles then dropped a tear. Till to read out with revenge loud, she fell on the floor. Sir Charles exerted all his might, and marched he from out the door. Upon a sledder he mounted, then with looks full brave and sweat, looks, that in shone Nemo concern. Then any in the street before him went the councilmen, in scarlet robes and gold and tassels spangling in the sunna, much glorious to beholder. The friars of St. Augustine next appeared to the fit, alla clad in homely russet weeds, of godly monkish plight in different parts a godly saw most sweetly thy death chaunt, behind their backs 6 minstrels came, who turned the strunge baton. Then 25 archers came, echoing the bow death bend, from rescue of King Henry's friends Sir Charles for to defend. Boldy as a lion came Sir Charles, drawn on a cloth-laid sledder, by 2 black steeds in trappinges white, with plumes upon their header. Behind him 25 mo of archers strong and stout, with bended bow echoing in hander, marched in goodly route. St. James's friars marched next, echoing his party death chaunt, behind their backs 6 minstrels came, who turned the strunge baton. Then came the mayor and eldermen, in cloth of scarlet decked, and dare attending men echoed, like eastern princes tricked, and after them, a multitude of citizens did throng. The windows were full of headies, as he did pass Allange. And when he came to the Higher Cross, Sir Charles did tourne and say, O thou, that savest man from sin, was me a soul clean thirsty at the Greta Minster window sat the king in Michael state, to see Charles board and go Allange, to his most welcome fate soon as the sledder drew nigger enow, that Edward he might hear. The brave Sir Charles he did stand up, and thus his words declared, Thou seest me, Edward, traitor vile, exposed to infamy, but be assured, disloyal man am greater now than thee. By fool proceedings, murder, blood, thou wearest now a crown, and hast appointed me to die, by power not thine own. Thou thinkest I shall die today, I have been deedy till now, and soon shall live to wear a crown for upon my brow whilst thou, perhaps, for some few years, shalt rule this fickle lander, to let them know how wide the rule twixt king and tyrant handeth thy power unjust. Thou traitor slave, shall fallen on thy own header, from out of hearing of the king departed. Then the sledder King Edward's soul rushed to his face, he turned his head away, and to his broder Gloucester he thus did speak and said to him that so much dreaded death in ghastly terrors bringe, behold the man, he spake the truth, he's greater than a king, so let him die. Duke Richard said, and may Econ Urfi spend down there next to bloody axe, and feed the carrion crows. And now the horses gently drew Sir Charles up the higher hill, the axe did glister in the sunner, his precious blood to spile. Sir Charles did up the scaffold go, as up a gilded carry of victory, by valorous chiefs gained in the bloody war. And to the people he did say, Behold you see me die, for servant loyally me a king most rightfully as long as Edward rules this lander. Ne quiet you will know, your sons and husbands shall ye be slain, and brooks wide blood shall ye flow. You leave your good and lawful king, when in adversity, like me, unto the true cause strike, and for the true cause die. Then he, with priests, up on his knees, a prayer to God did make, beseeching him unto himself his parting soul to take. Then, kneeling down, he laid his head most seemly on the block, which from his body fed once the able-headed man stroke, and out the blood began to flow, and round the scaffold it win, and tearous, in out to wash it away, did flow from each man's ain the bloody axe his body faint over parties cut, and every party, and eke his header, upon a pole was put. One party did wrought on Kinewelf Hill, one on the Minster Tower, and one from off the castle gate. The crow did devour the other on St. Paul's good gate, a dreary spectacle. His header was placed on the Higher Cross, in Higher Street most noble. Thus was the end of Borden's fate. God prosper your king, and grant he may, with Borden's soul, in heaven God's mercy sing.